Hi guys, this is Miss Hughes. I'm going to look at target 4C, part 1, conditional probability. Okay, so first of all, vocab. We're going to see a two-way frequency table, which we saw in target A. We saw a frequency table, but this is just two-way, which means you can read it in two different directions. So we can either read like how many males and females going across on the road, or we could also read looking at the involved in activities or not involved in activities. So an example of how we want to read this would be the probability of a male given that they're involved in an activity. And you heard me say this word given, right? That is this line right here. Okay, when you see that line, you say the word given, straight line. Okay, so what this is saying is we're curious, out of all of the involved in the activities, how many are males? Right, so it's kind of thinking the backwards here. So we're looking at all involved in the activities. That would be this column, and that total is 251. Okay, so that goes on the bottom, and it kind of tells you because that's the second thing listed. We want to know how many of those are male. Okay, so we go up here, and I see 112 of those people involved in the activities are male. So that would be an example, which we'll see a little bit later. Conditional probability right here you will see in the next video, part 2. So we're going to go down to example 1. My pen is being a little bit weird, so just bear with me here. Hopefully we'll make this through here. But we have a two-way frequency table, and we're looking at boys and girls, 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, and then the totals, right? So this looks like kind of a middle school soccer camp. Out of all the 6th graders, there were 7 boys, there were 8 girls that were in 6th grade. You know, read across here, there are 27 total of those, and so on. Okay, so we're going to start with A. The probability that they're in 7th grade. So all of the 7th grade kids, if I go to the 7th grade column, there were 13 7th graders. And this is what I mean by my graph is acting weird, so I'm just going to point instead of draw. There are 13 7th graders. So that's going to be our top number. Out of all of the students, right, it doesn't tell us given what, but if we're looking for all the 7th graders, we're probably comparing it to all the other students. We go down here, the total number of students of 6th, 7th, and 8th grade together is 50. So that's going to go down here at the bottom. So 13 out of 50. Part B, probability of a girl. Okay, so if all the kids, right, how many are girls? We look here, we go all the way over for the total girls, and I see 27. So we're at 27 over the total number of students again, right? We're out of 50. So 27 girls out of all of the soccer camp students. Part C, a 6th grade girl. Okay, so now I'm looking for just 6th grade girls. So 6th grade and girl, I see it's 8 right here. So my top number is an 8 over all of the students, right? Again, we're just comparing out of how many, since it doesn't say that given or that line yet. Probability that it's an 8th grade boy. Okay, so another way to explain this, kind of different than what I've already said. How many people attending the soccer camp were 8th grade boys? So we're comparing, like I've been saying, all of the kids, so that's out of 50, but specifically we want the 8th grade boy. We go to 8th grade boy, that's 10. Okay. Here's that given line. So probability of a 6th grade student, or 6th grade attendee, I guess, given that they are a boy. So In this case, I'm going to change colors here because it's a little bit different. Right, we have this given, that line there, which means we're just concerned about the boys. Out of the total boys, given that they are a boy. So our bottom number is going to be how many boys. I look over here, out of all of the boys, there's 23 boys. That number goes down here. Okay, so of those boys, we want 6th grade. Okay, so I go back over here, boys, 6th grade, there are 7. That's our top number, 7 out of 23. And then lastly, probability of boy, given that they are in 6th grade. Okay, so now we're looking at the total number of 6th graders as our total. So I go over 6th grade, all the way down, the total of those are 15. That goes on our denominator. How many of those 6th graders are boys? Okay, 6th grader, boys, there are 7. So 7 out of 15. Now, one of the things I forgot to do with some of these was to simplify. 13 out of 50 is simplified. 27 out of 50. We can double check here by doing 27 divided by 50 in your calculator, hitting enter, and it should simplify it for you. That one's good. 8 divided by 50 does simplify to 4/25. 10 out of 50 is 1/5. 7 out of 23 and 7 out of 15 are okay. So like I've been preaching all this, you're going to just make sure you simplify your answers. Okay, moving on to the last 2 examples we're going to do. Now, example 2 and 3, and actually the rest 4 and 5 on this packet, you do not have in your original packet. That was that extra paper I handed out. Of course, I couldn't copy correctly, so I had to print out the back. I missed the back somehow on the copier. So this is like a separate sheet of paper. So make sure you have that. If you don't, just write it on the back blank side of your note. That will be fine as well. Okay, I'm actually going to do number 3 first. I just like number 3. So number 3, there are 150 children at summer camp and 71 signed up for swimming. There were a total of 62 children that signed up for canoeing and 28 of them also signed up for swimming. Construct a 2-way table summarizing the data. So lots to set up here. First of all, I see canoeing and swimming, okay? Total children, 150 children at the summer camp, and then we have a few extra information here. But I'm going to have to see what I'm going to set up for my rows and columns. So I know that you can either go canoeing or not canoeing. You can go swimming or not swimming, or you can do both. So I'm going to have something that looks like canoe and not canoe. Maybe someone just doesn't want to get into a canoe, or they just don't want to pay for doing both activities. You could also swim, or you could not swim. Okay. Now, under each of these, as you've seen in our frequency tables, we're going to have totals. This is getting cut off a little bit, so I'm just going to call that T. Okay, so to make this all organized, I'm going to make rows and columns to make our 2-way table. So now we need to fill in what we know. And like I said up here, there are 150 children at the summer camp. The total number of all these kids should go all the way down here. This is going to be 150. I also know 71 signed up for swimming. So in the swimming category, the total of those swimmers are 71. Okay? And then I know there are a total of 62 children that signed up for canoeing. So of all the canoers, the total is 62. So that goes over here. And 28 of those canoers, where I'm reading this, 28 of them also signed up for swimming. So now we know the people who signed up for canoeing and swimming, which goes right here. And that is 28. And that's all the data we're given. It's our job to fill in the rest of it, which is pretty simple. Do it in red. Right, so if I have 28 canoeing, and there's a total of 62, to find the ones not swimming, I do 62 minus 28. Now you can just do that in your calculator. So what I'm going to do is just 62 minus 28, and that will give the remaining, which is 34. So that goes in here. And I just wrote that to show you, so I don't really need that. Okay, so I can do the same thing with this swimming column. So there are a total of 71 swimmers, 28 are also canoeing. So which one of those, how many of those swimmers are not canoeing? So 71 minus 28, that answer is 43. That goes right here. Or you can double check, 28 plus 43, yes, that gives me 71. Okay, it looks like I can also fill out this row. I have a total of 150 swimmers. I'm sorry, 150 students. 71 are swimming. How many are not swimming? Well, 150 minus 71 gives you 79. Now I can fill out this column, right? 79 minus 34. That's 45. And you could double check, right? 34 plus 79, 4 plus 5 is 9, 3 plus 4 is 7. Yes, that all works out. And then lastly, the not canoeing. Go across this way. 43 plus 45, that's 88. And that's how you fill out your frequency table there. All right, example 2. We're looking at in a class of 32 students, there were 8 girls who played basketball, 5 boys who did not. Construct a two-way table summarizing the data. So I see girls and boys, and then I see basketball, and it looks like not basketball. So that's going to be our rows and columns. So I'm going to put boys and girls on the side, and then total here. I'm going to do basketball, and then not basketball, and then a total right here. Make our rows and column lines. All right, so plug in what we know. All right, 32 students total. That should go down here. So 32. Then it says 8 girls played basketball. Okay, basketball, girls, 8 will go right in here. And then 5 boys who did not play basketball. Okay, boys, not basketball, that's 5. Now, there was actually supposed to be one more piece of information here. We were supposed to tell you that there are 20 girls. Okay, that was supposed to be the last line. It didn't make it in there. So then if we know 20 girls total, we go from here all the way over. Our total is 20. Now I'm going to stop there. I'm going to have you try this one. See if you can fill it out. Pause the video, try it, and then replay it again, and I'll have the answers in here. Hopefully you tried that. Your answers should look like this. Right? If not, go back and take a look at that again. Maybe just add it incorrectly. If you did, awesome. I will see you tomorrow.